Hi guys, I'm out here doing some yard work, raking up piles and years of trash being blown onto the property and stuff, so forgive me for like rake in hand literally, and I'm literally out here raking up piles, 10-12 years of stuff being blown all over the property. Anyway, this video is about ketones. A lot of confusion out there. People think I'm not registering on my breath meter. Why am I not registering on my breath meter? I just got a House of Keto meter, but I'm not registering. Well, here's some facts that you can even verify with Dr. Berg or any of the other ones. Your body will actually create ketones on demand. It's a lot smarter than we think it is. It's a lot smarter than doctors think. People that use the keto sticks in the beginning, they turn colors, sometimes really dark colors. Sometimes it means you're just spilling ketones so much that it's showing up. The manufacturer will put in the description that you can also be dehydrated. Now let's face it, everything that we put in our mouth has water in it. And I was watching a guy that created his own supplement company. He did a really interesting video because he was getting fed up with all the water recommendations and stuff out there. Big buff guy, power lifter, bodybuilder. And he was saying, do you realize how much water people take in a day? It's not a little. It's in all our food. It's in the sodas and stuff that we drink. It's in everything that we put in our mouth. And then we're trying to cram in more water on top of it. And then we realize why we're so deficient in our minerals and our electrolytes. One of the reasons is because we have so much water going into our body. Now, is it a bad thing to consume water? No. Pay attention to what your body needs. Now, back to ketones. If you're not showing ketones on your stick, you could not be in ketosis, but if you're following a pretty good protocol, that's not necessarily the case. Now, if you get to a point where you are doing like the blood test, beta-hydroxybutyrate, that's going to be there all the time. That's the preferred ketone by the body. Your body will actually stop producing acetoacetate, and it will actually start taking your fat and converting the fat to beta-hydroxybutyrate because that is the preferred method. Did you know in the second trimester of a child's birth, 30% of the energy that that child needs, or the building block that it needs, comes from ketone bodies? It's like the front, I don't know, cortex or forfeiture, whatever they call it, of the brain has to be developed by ketone bodies, and it will naturally take the mother's fat and use it as fuel and convert to ketones. In the third trimester, the mother and the child have pretty decent amount of ketone bodies in the system for development. It's a natural state to be in. So if your keto stick is not showing a reading, chances are you've regulated. Your body is actually taking the fat, and it's no longer converting into acetoacetate. Its now preferred method is beta-hydroxybutyrate because that is a much more preferred ketone for the body to utilize as energy. It unlocks the blood-brain barrier. That's essential for brain function. That's why you see so many people on a ketogenic diet say, and their testimony is, I'm not depressed as much, my anxiety's down, inflammation is way down. It's because of the process that your body's going through to actually make itself more efficient. Acetone is not always going to be there. Again, the preferred ketone is beta-hydroxybutyrate. Sometimes you're going to have to upgrade to a $250 Ketonix breath meter that is very accurate. A lot of the big professionals and stuff are starting to talk about it. It's expensive. If you get the $30, the $40 breath meter, the $25 breath meter, you're not always going to have a reading. If you just go over your carbs a little bit, it can throw that reading off. So, if you're going to be accurate with the ketone that you want to read, I suggest that you get a Keto Mojo meter or you get a Precision Extra. Keto Mojo is my way to go because they actually give deals on the sticks and stuff like that for ketones. And they're dual meters. They test sugar and they test ketones. So you can get some of the strip for about $1 a piece. Precision Extra I'm not real familiar with, but I have been told they're more expensive. And I just know some of the professionals actually promote the Keto Mojo meter. And that's just my one that I go with. So dehydration can affect the keto stick. Even the manufacturer says it themselves. Not necessary though. Most of the time, if you're reading dark colors on your keto stick, it's because you have ketones. Let's face it, everything that we put in our mouth has water in it. And if you're drinking a decent amount of water, Nothing in particular, not this half your body weight in ounces of water, which is ridiculous. There is a standard. I was just talking to Jimmy Moore's wife. She's an NTP. She was even saying there's some truth to the old method about 8 ounces, 8 glasses a day. 64 ounces to 100 ounces of water is primarily what people need, and that's it. There's no a gallon and a half and all this other stuff unless you're an athlete and you're constantly replenishing electrolytes all day. If you're a normal person like me that works a normal job and is just semi-active, you don't need all that. You're going to dilute your electrolytes. A light straw-colored urine is key. So, dehydration can affect the color on your keto sticks, but not necessarily. Most of the time, that's not the case. Acetone is not always going to show up in the breath meter. Beta-hydroxybutyrate is always going to be there. I've never seen a reading, less than 0.5 millimolar. 0.5 millimolar is nutritional ketosis. That's where it starts. A good range is between like 1 and 2. If you start getting into like 2 and above, you can still be very effective that way. From what I've seen in the articles that I've read, higher ketones does not mean that you're going to lose weight faster. They actually state in some of the articles that a person with a ketone reading of about 0.7 to like 1.5 or something like that typically lose weight better. They've regulated, their diet's more on point, they're not having excessive fat and stuff like that that has to be converted into ketones. So, think about that, guys. It's a lot of information to take in. Keto Mojo meter, beta-hydroxybutyrate, preferred method. Go with it. You won't regret it. Leave your comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate your support, and thank you. Thank you for everything you guys comment, you do, you support me, you share my videos. I really appreciate it. Keto on, guys.